to learn about surface area. And some properties of surface area that you need to know. It's adding up all areas of a prism. And when I say all areas, I mean all faces of a prism. So it's a three-dimensional shape. It's like if I was wrapping a present, would be doing surface area. Another example of surface area would be duct taping. I know a lot of us like to do projects with that. Another example of surface area would be painting. Painting, you're not painting inside, you're not filling up the wall, you're just painting the outside of a wall. Those are some examples of surface area. So what we're going to do as 7th graders, we're going to find surface area of prisms, and we're going to find all the areas of the faces and add them to the base. Okay, I'm going to show you, I have this rectangular prism here. And what I'm going to show you is how I can break this apart to find the surface area. What you should be able to identify looking at this prism, you should be able to identify the little faces. If I wanted to paint this block, I would want to paint the top part of the block. I'd want to paint the side. There's another side over here. I'd want to paint a front end, and I'd want to paint the back side. So there's actually 6 parts to this. So when I do surface area, what I want to do is find the area of each of the 6 parts and then add them up. Well, I'm going to dissect this a little bit, and I want you to take a look at the base. The base, again, base of a prism is where it's the 2 same sides that are parallel to each other, and they're usually the odd ones out. So the smaller rectangles here would represent the base. Okay? All right. So when I look at this, I want you, again, I'm looking at this base. If I were to look at this top rectangle, the top one, and I wanted to find the area of it, I would use this length, the height, times this length of the base. Okay? So if I wanted to find the area of the top rectangle, I go the height times the top part of the base. If I wanted to find the side rectangle, I'm using the height again. I'm using the height times the right side of the base. If I wanted to find the area of the other side, again, I would use the dimensions of the height times the left side of my base. And if I wanted to find my bottom rectangle dimensions, what I would do is the height again times the bottom part of my base. So I'm always using one of my bases, one side of my base is either 1, 2, 3, or 4 to find the area of my rectangles. My rectangles, again, to find the area of it, you just go base times height. What I'm doing here, if you notice, I used all 4 sides. Well, I used all around it. That is known as the perimeter of my base. So to find the outside faces, the area of my outside, not my bases, just the outside of my base, is equal to the perimeter of my base, I'm going to call it P, times how tall my rectangle is. I did that constantly. I always used how tall my rectangle was, and I always used one of the dimensions of my base. So the area on the outside, that's the top, the bottom, the side, and the other side, is equal to my perimeter of my base times by my height. And then if I need to find 2 more, 2 more side lengths, and that's my actual base. And I have 2 of them, so I would add to it 2 times big B. We decided yesterday that big B represented the area of my base, and it doesn't matter what shape it is. That's how we develop the formula for finding surface area. Actual formula is right here. Surface area is P times H plus 2B. The P represents the perimeter of our base. The H represents the height of our prism. And the big B represents the area of our base. Okay, so surface area is equal to my perimeter of the base times my height plus 2 times the area of my base. I do want to let you know that the height of your prism will always be connecting your 2 bases. So if I'm looking at this, my bases would be the bottom and the top. My height is what connects them, so my height would be 10. All right, let's use this formula. So again, my surface area is my perimeter, so that's what I want to find first. I want to find my perimeter, and I want to find my big B. That is the area of my base. So the perimeter of my base, I have these dimensions here. I have 5, 4, this back dimension would be 5, and this side dimension would be 4. So my perimeter is 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus another 8 would be 18. The area of my base, it's a rectangle, so it would be 5 times 4, which is equal to 20. Now I can plug in. My surface area is going to equal the perimeter of my base times my height plus 2 times the area of one base. 180 plus 2 times 20 is 40. 180 plus 40 is 220 centimeters squared. All right, we're going to do another example. This is a triangular prism. So again, when I break this up, I want to use this formula up here. Surface area is equal to the perimeter of my base times my height plus 2 times the area of one of my bases. If you look at my base here, it is a triangle. So I need to find the dimensions. I'm going to first find my perimeter, and then I'm going to find the area, my big B, which is the area of my base. My perimeter, I have a 9 plus a 12 plus a 15. Now if you're feeling stuck, why do we care about that? Because when I talk about the perimeter and I times it by its height, it's giving me all these side faces. It's giving me the area of all the side faces. That's what the perimeter is really doing for us, okay? Going back. I'm going to need a calculator to help me calculate this one quick. So I have 9 plus 12 plus 15 is 36. So my perimeter is 36. The area of my base. Now my base is a triangle. Okay, notice, base is a triangle. The area of a triangle is base times height over 2. So the base of my triangle, it really doesn't matter. It's a right triangle, so I know the 2 legs, they're called legs. The 2 legs, that form the triangle are my legs in height. So my triangle area is going to be 9 times 12 over 2. 9 times 12 is 108 over 2, which is equal to 54. So that's the area of one base. Now I'm going to pull it all together. My total surface area is my perimeter, which is 36, times the height of my prism. The height connects the two bases, so that would be 5, plus 2 times the area of a base. The area of one of my bases is 54. This turns into 180 plus 2 times 54 is 108. Adding that together, and I get 288. And it doesn't look like I have any units, so I do units squared because it is an area. Area is squared. All right, we're going to move on now into cylinders. Same formula, it's just the perimeter is a little different. And the area of the base is slightly different. So, if we look at a cylinder, and I said, well, what's a perimeter? This is perimeter of base. Well, a circle doesn't really have a perimeter, but perimeter means go around. And if you're talking about go around for a circle, the perimeter is going to equal your circle's circumference. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, or 2 pi r if you're given the radius, because there's 2 radiuses that make up one diameter. So it could be, if it was just given a diameter or a radius, you would want 2 of them to find your full diameter. And also the other thing you need to remember, 2 times big B. Right now, big B would be pi r squared. The area of a base would be, a circular base would be pi r squared. I'm just going to jump right into an example. If I wanted to find the surface area, the strategy that I keep using, I want to find my perimeter of the base, and I want to find my big B. So my perimeter is circumference. The circumference is going to equal pi times my diameter. Diameter is pi. Which is equal, punching that into my calculator, 15.7. Okay, area of my base. Base is equal to pi r squared. Well, 5 is equal to my diameter, so r would equal half of 5, which is 2.5. So this would equal to pi times 2.5 times 2.5. So I'm just plugging that in. 2.5 times 2.5 times 3.14 is 19.625. Plugging it into my equation, I get my surface area is equal to my perimeter, 15.7, times my height. My height connects the two bases, 21, plus 2 times the area of one of my bases. Plug in more things into my calculator. I get 329.7 plus 19.625 times 2 is 39.25. Add it to 329.7 and I get 368.95 inches squared is the surface area of that cylinder. I think that's, I'm going to just draw I don't really like this example. I'm going to draw another cylinder to do, and this will be the last example we go over. Let's say that I had a radius this time of 3, and I wanted to find the surface area. My height, connecting my two bases, is 10. We'll keep it kind of simple. Numbers we can work easy with. So again, I want to find my perimeter of my base.